Hello and welcome to Flint and Steel, the Garblag Games Woof Woof Show! Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Flint and Steel. This week we have a new player, we have Lawrence. Hello Lawrence. We are continuing on with our adventure, and this week we're going to have one of our players do the recap instead of me talking all the time. But before we do that, we just want to say thank you to everyone for watching the last episode. If you haven't seen it, go back and check that out. There'll be a link below. Check out our Discord server. We've got a link to that on our Facebook page. And while you're there, check out the Facebook page. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. Just search for Garblag Games. Okay, so on with episode 2. I'm the Game Master.
I'm Ben, and I'll be playing Gunter Seuss, the halfling litigant.
I'm Lawrence. I'll be playing Torvald Rolfson, and I'm a dwarf cartographer.
Hi, I'm Roger. I'm playing Bagrik Rolfson, the dwarf shield breaker.
I'm Simon. I'm playing Mr. Fawkes, and I hit dodgy people.
Or just anybody.
Who looks dodgy. Oh, I think looks dodgy.
So everyone.
You play a pixie or like a human?
It's just a... Damn.
I play human.
Yeah.
Manling.
Yes, a manling.
Hi, I'm Jim. I'm playing Hardwin, a human bounty hunter.
Okay, cool. What we're going to do now is I'm going to randomise who is going to give us our recap. So roll a nice dice. I rolled a Roger. Hello, Roger. That's funny. In one of our old games at the Roleplaying Club in St Albans, whenever I used to randomise it, it would always come up as Roger.
Every time.
It's
Every single
appropriate that it's
time.
Roger.
Every
We'll see if
single
that carries
time.
on in the show. So,
I think
Roger,
we
what
need to
happened?
see these rolls.
No, we don't need to see
Right.
the rolls.
You don't need to see the roll.
So last week we met up in the Brewers Guild
Mm-hmm.
with a Mr. Schitzler,
Schnitzler.
Schnitzler,
Mr. Shits.
who was some dodgy human chap. Who,
Dodgy?
yes, he was.
He was a
And
priest.
he asked us to go investigate the basement because there were questionable, or the sewer, as there were questionable going on in the warehouses.
Mm-hmm.
So, following up from that, we investigated the source of what we thought were lots of rats, and we found a mutant down there with a tentacle arm. So we swiftly dealt with that, with Hartwin shooting it in the leg, followed by me chopping it in the head with an axe.
It was Chandler from Friends.
It was.
He couldn't be any more of an mutant. And then we found the rats, the brood rats, that was spawning lots of little ones, which then Hartwin exploded its head with a crossbow.
I did.
Yes.
So we then went back after smelling a lot.
Yep.
Showed the Schnitzler the tentacle.
Mm-hmm. And who did you meet as well?
We met Mr. Berg.
Mr. Berg is
Adelinda Falkenberg.
We met Mr. Berg.
Yes.
who
Who Alvin took a shine to.
Yeah.
who is Mr. Schnitzler's bodyguard, I'm assuming.
Associate.
Bodyguard.
Can we just point out that showing him the tentacle isn't a euphemism?
So we then went to the other warehouse, where we had a bit of a poke around, and our halfling lived up to his racist reputation and stole a bunch of stuff.
It's still nothing.
He stole some aphrodisiacs
I
from
stole
there.
nothing. Who's that? It wasn't me. I
And then we-
confiscated important evidence.
Absolutely.
And then we spent the evening either in the tavern drinking or in a company of ladies
At the Velvet Cup.
at the Velvet Cup.
Yes, which
Yeah.
I had some of
Before
that.
meeting back in the morning.
Some of that.
Yeah, had some of that.
Before meeting back in the morning to undertake our next mission, which we had just arrived at, which was investigating the sewers.
Yes.
We go to a different warehouse.
Which we investigated and we trained, and that's where we met Torvald.
Yes. I thought it'd be good this time for everyone to give us a little brief description of what their character looks like, what they're generally equipped with, so that the viewers have a bit of a better sense of that. Ben, do you want to start us off with Gunter?
I shall do. Gunter is unremarkable in halfling stakes, but he does tend to try and make himself look like a human a lot more. So he's 34 years of age, brown hair, dark brown eyes, weighs 150 pounds, 3'7" tall.
150 pounds and 3'7".
You're wider than you are tall.
Did I get that wrong? That's the bloody
No,
book.
that's
with its
right. That's
randomising.
halfling dimensions.
It's like dwarf stats.
That is like that dwarf. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it is, isn't it?
He
It shouldn't
weighs
be
more
that.
than me.
It should be like 105, not
Yeah,
150.
Yeah,
I've clearly got those
150's
numbers the
fine.
right way
He's got a
around.
good tummy.
150 is not fun. I don't want him to be a chunky little halfling. I want him to
He's
be
a
All
very-
is that all the gold in your pockets?
He's a
Yeah.
scrawny little bug.
You got 45 pounds of aphrodisiac.
You You are definitely not scrawny at 150 pounds.
You know, I lied. It's 105. Shut up. Leave me alone, you guys. Stop fat shaming me. He's got a little scar on his top lip,
Mhm.
which gives him a sort of cheeky smile all the time. And carries what he calls a short sword, but that most people would probably call as a dagger, and a dagger that most people would probably call a toothpick.
Okay, cool.
And I've recently purchased a sling. Now, ordinarily I would wear decent clothes, but we're going shit stomping, so I'm wearing the crap that we wore yesterday.
Yep.
Because
Which has been dunked, but
dunked.
it's not properly cleaned. Cool. Okay, Lawrence, what does Torvald look like?
Torvald is very, very young for a dwarf.
Okay.
He is only 35,
Okay.
so just about has a beard that can be proud of. Dark-haired, dark-eyed,
Mhm.
slightly under 5 feet tall.
Okay.
As no dwarf would be seen without a weapon, he carries an axe and
Okay.
has a shield slung across his back,
Cool.
but no armour, so is considerably underdressed for a dwarf, as most would consider it, but is sort of solidly dressed in dwarven style.
Okay.
Bagrik is also 35, as he is the twin of Torvald. Not identical twins though. Bagrik has blue eyes and light brown hair. He also has a similar length beard to Torvald, being of the same age. He's the same height, but is quite a bit stockier.
Okay.
He's definitely got the warrior's build of the two.
Okay.
He is wearing chainmail everywhere apart from his head, where he's just got
Everywhere?
a leather cap. Everywhere.
Okay. Cool.
He's just got a leather cap, carrying an axe and a shield with a crossbow slung over his back.
Okay.
So Alvin, he's only 28, but he looks a lot older and he looks a lot weathered. You won't really notice any weapons. He has an axe, but it's not something he gets out very often. He looks very scruffy in just a leather jacket, and he probably has a hat, but he's not going to wear it all the time because he's getting a bit used to it. And it's usually,
He's a new one.
yeah, it's a new hat, so you've got to wear these things in.
Okay.
Very scruffy and quizzically looking, but otherwise fairly unkempt.
Just always looks confused.
He's always thinking whether he needs to hit someone or not.
Okay.
He's
And
basically
he's got meaty hands.
that
hasn't he?
question. Oh yeah. He's a big old
Yeah.
5'10", 170 pounds,
Okay. Mostly muscle.
mostly muscle. In fact, all muscle and a bit of brain. He's good with numbers.
Oh yeah, he is good. Isn't he? He's supernumerate, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's like, bing.
yeah.
I'd have to hit him 4 times. 4.1 times.
He calculates charge distance very well.
Okay, cool.
Hartwin is very tall. He is 6'2",
Oh boy.
and
A giant.
he is a giant and incredibly stocky. He is actually sturdy as a talent.
Okay.
Is quite young at 19, but was brought up as an orphan and has always kind of fought for himself ever since he was big enough to do so. And he's found that just fighting through the streets and picking up crooks is the way to go. So he is in kind of not smart but not kind of raggedy leather armor, and carries a crossbow, a net. A net and a sword.
A net. Cool.
He has an entangling weapon.
Oh.
He does, but he is very good at shooting stuff with his crossbow.
as we've already found out in episode 1. Okay, so the 4 of you came to the warehouse and found that some guards were protecting the building and had informed you that Torvald was waiting for you inside and he'd already been sent there. Torvald, you have been sent by Uthor Bluntstone, who is a dwarf who runs a guild. Well, you think he runs a guild, no one's quite sure. Although it's called Bluntstone Barley Beer, that's their top hero product line. So everyone thinks he is in charge. He sent you down there to help them because you've got a good head on your shoulders, and he wants you to make a record of where these things are coming from. He's told you that there has been some sort of attacks on workers who have gone down into the second basement of the warehouse where they keep all the coolest stuff because it's colder down there, and they're not sure what's happened, but several people have disappeared and they've disappeared into the sewers, and they may need to keep a track of where things are coming from. So if you can map out where things are, then you might be able to know sort
Where
of
to go next.
Yes, exactly. So you've all arrived at this large building which has got various large double doors. It's got the kind of high up loading doors with winches and things as well to get into upper floors, and guards are patrolling the area and keeping an eye out. They seem to be mildly on edge, not running around scared or swords out. They're kind of walking around hands on weapons, keeping an eye out and keeping people away. As we said last time, it's kind of on the edge of the industrial plats, where there's lots of trade, workers, people moving about, so they're having to keep a bit of a cordon of the area.
Are we being led there, or can I use my gossip skill to find out roughly what they're saying?
Who's saying? The people in the town?
The people around.
You can make a fellowship roll
Yeah.
to see if you pick up anything on the way through the industrial plants.
Plus or minus anything? Doesn't matter. 8.
8. There are murmurs of chaos, mutants, creatures in the sewers. Have the Skaven come back? You hear one dwarf say as you pass through the industrial plats, and that word kind of chills you to the bone. But you...
Yeah,
nothing.
It's hearsay.
Yeah, it's hearsay. A little bit here and there. So you're allowed into the building, which has been secured from the outside, and you are informed that in the second basement there is some sort of collapse in the sewers. Don't go around prodding any of the merchandise. We're trying to keep it all fairly stationary. It's all fermenting still, etc. So just make your way down there and see what's going on.
I don't know much about brewing, but none of that stuff's going to explode or anything, is it?
The guy who runs the building is there, and he's like, no, nothing like that. It's it's just sitting there. It's the fermentation of the yeast. You don't want to disturb it because it's getting very good. It's all sitting there. It's all juicy. So I like to.
I step back when he's.
Have a sniff of the
Well,
yeast.
I thought because you were doing this and the cupping motion, I thought we were back to the other place.
It's some sort of short, older man who looks like his hands are continually dipping in and out of Marmite. It's got sort of like a weird browny tinge to his hands under his fingernails. Right, go on then. Just go down the stairs.
I'll go down the stairs.
Okay. So you make your way into the building, and it's a fairly large open plan area with a sort of small office style building and some stairs up to an upper floor. You can see lots of barrels and crates laid around, and to one side there is clearly a staircase that heads down into some sort of basement. When you make your way down, you're getting used to these kind of warehouses and going down into the basements now. And you head down into a basement where large barrels are being stored, and there seems to be sort of cordoned off areas, some materials, bags of barley and things sort of dotted around, and the staircase continues down off a small landing even further. And you make your way now down, and it's dark down here. There's no torches lit or anything, and you can hear the sound of running. I'd say water, but it sounds more like running porridge.
Yeah.
Slightly thick.
Slightly thick, yes, but you
rather
can
calm.
hear that from the darkness down there.
Can I use my perception to see if I can hear anything else like scrabbling or
Okay.
chittering or
Okay, sure.
any other discernible noises?
Which one's the 10?
Green.
Green.
Green is always the tens.
He says rolling a 95.
Rolling a 95.
Does my excellent hearing?
Make a roll.
Ooh, maybe. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I passed by like 10.
Okay.
Well, more than that. But
You don't hear anything, and you can't hear anything other than the running sludge of the sewer. But you know that's definitely what it is now.
Oh, sewage.
So you've got some torches and lanterns.
I shall
last
stick
time?
my hat on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think lanterns is probably a safer bet than torches. To be fair.
Open flame.
Yeah.
I notice and say, Mr. Fox, that's a hat.
I shall grin.
Okay.
I thought of that actually.
You light a lantern, and it's not like you to forget a hat or something to put on your head.
No. I get shit in me area.
You light a lantern or two, and you make your way down the stairs. And there are larger barrels and some small barrels dotted along. And on the right-hand side, there's small barrels kind of nested in sort of shelves. And on the left-hand side, there are large barrels. The central area of the room is fairly clear, and you can hear the running water noise coming from the back of this room. So you start to edge your way closer in the dark. You've got your lantern out, and you see up ahead that a section of the back wall has fallen away. Seems to have there's a sort of thick mud and dirt on the other side of it. As you get closer, you can see that the interior wall of this section of the sewer looks like it has suffered from
Has it
some
gone
instability.
inside out or outside in?
It
Does it
looks
look like this wall's been pushed out from our side?
No, it looks
or
like it's
been
actually
pushed in?
slipped downwards and into the sewer water. Because as you look, you can see that there's like a large bundle of sort of rocks and earth down there.
I thought it was supposed to be better built than that. And this is suspicious to me. I mean, I'm no dwarf or nothing. But does that not look suspicious to you? This is the second one of these, owned by the same firm, where the wall's fallen in the ship.
can I assess the
Is that not
stone
odd?
Make a roll.
using my game?
Plus
I got a
20%.
2.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, it's very sound. It does look like,
So you walked right up to it and you're sticking your head in the hole.
well, nearby.
Well,
It's
I'm
kind of
looking at the rock.
within a few yards of it. It looks like the rocks at the top were disturbed in some way, smashed or chiseled. And indeed, it does look like something loosened
Sabotaged it.
this. And maybe then there was some
Outside in or inside out?
from the sewer side.
Yeah, looks like someone from the sewers has been fiddling with this. Can you tell any more, Torvald? You're the stonemason of the two of us.
I'll take a look.
You will have to move into the sewer to have a clearer view.
I shall step past them into the sewer,
Okay.
the other side of the sewer,
Okay, so you're going to go sludge across the...
sludge across.
Okay. It's about 6 yards across. It's a big main channel, it seems.
I will
where
sludge
lots
across.
of shit is flowing past.
If anyone hits me, Newman, you shoot them.
So you step across with the lantern. There's now light. You still have to get into the opening to see it. As you move past, you can see that the shelving where the small barrels are, several of the there are several empty spaces. The rest looks like full, empty section.
I'm just listening.
Well, no, you all
Listening
see that as
to
you
the
walk past with
sound.
the lantern.
The sound that I'm going to hit
Okay.
when it gets too close.
What radius is a lantern? Can you look that up while we do a roll over here?
Yeah.
So, Torvald, let's have a plus 20%.
It's not on that page.
Good, okay, you get plus 10 for our dwarf craft.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Might
Success?
take a while.
success.
Okay, cool. You can see now from this side, the kind of this area of the sewers is a region that had been repaired a long time ago. This section of the wall has a different stone used to replace the old dwarven structure of the sewers, because these sewers were built by dwarves a long time ago. This repaired section of wall, perhaps when they dug out this bottom basement, someone has gone at it with chisel, and you can see now that someone sort of around the opening has tried different points with some sort of large hammer and chisel to break it apart.
To gain access to
Yeah,
the
so
sewer.
it looks like someone's tried to break into the basement.
Oh, it's bad workmanship, but someone's definitely been trying to get in here. They've been working at it. Good tools to make it happen.
They got manling.
It's high
Oh,
up.
bloody always blade manling.
Trying to assess if it's a manling or a ratling. Bloody skaven get everywhere. The
Did they
buggers.
use chisels though?
Aye.
Not axes. Because dwarves don't use anything but axes. I've noticed that about dwarves. I've not met one with a hammer yet, but apparently they do.
Gentlemen, there is no need to begin casting dispersions on our family heritages. Because let's be honest
Well,
here,
mine are all dead, so you can do what you like.
what is that? But also, if you ever think about it, that means that potentially we've got 2 break-in sites. There could be others amongst other guilds, with other people pootling around trying to sort out what's going on in them holes. So for all we know, there could be a significant number of unpleasantness going on down here.
Didn't get space recently get
Well,
attacked
as long
by
as
the
there's some
skaven.
significant unpleasantness coming my way, then I'm okay. Right.
What's the
so
radius on your
normal
for
vision
spotting?
of spotting is 30, and in brackets it's got 15.
30 yards.
30 yards or 15 squares. Right. Okay.
Yeah, because each
And
square
then
on the map
maximum vision it's got 40.
Okay, make a perception roll.
Okay.
Bloody
Okay.
legions of chaos.
You're too
coming
busy
over here,
looking at what
stealing
he's
our
pointing
beer.
out. So Torvald's going, look there and there and there. He's kind of like.
I'm still keeping like an eye on him as well because he did say.
And the tunnel? The tunnel
Uh,
goes either way, left and
I'll
right.
tell you what,
So you
I'll
crossed over
roll
to the
to
other
see
side.
if I'm looking either way
So
and not.
If something's sneaking up, can we hear it?
You'd nothing. He's in the corridor, so he gets to make a roll.
No.
If you want to go out into the corridor, that's fine. You get to make a perception roll.
I'm not looking.
Okay.
As in I'm
You
looking
going
at
out?
him. Right.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
see that is
Make a
more-
perception roll. It's vision based. Okay. It's very dark down here. Remember, it's the sewer, so it's pitch black. They don't have light sources, and your lantern light is kind of stretching out down this corridor in either way, and this
killing
filth
night
is kind
vision.
of coming past you.
Yeah.
Yes, killing night vision. Right, so you can tell that it's been sabotaged.
So we're going to go that way. I will look down one corridor, or we're going to go that way. I will look down the other corridor.
Okay.
So roll some dice.
Subtle.
I'll roll down the left corridor. No, didn't see anything. I'll roll down the right corridor. And if there's anything down the right corridor, I will have seen it
Okay, so
as I pass.
as you turn to your right, which is everybody else's left because he's standing on the other side of the corridor, and you say, or are we going to go down? You pause briefly, and you can see in the effluent, which is flowing from that direction, something. Bob, it's not like a torrent. It's just flowing. You can see something bobbing in the crap.
Yeah.
Ever so slowly towards you.
Okay.
Like something. It looks like a foot.
Okay.
The bottom of a foot, like someone's foot.
Yeah.
Coming towards you.
There appears to be a body floating towards me. I'm going to assume it's not dead and is. I shall hold lantern, wait till it gets close enough, and then hit it.
Okay. As you wait, the foot bobs around and sort of pitches in the water, and you see that just above the knee of this leg, it has been severed gruesomely by tooth or claw, you're not sure, but not by a blade. It looks like something's kind of torn this thing apart. And the leg, the trousers of the leg are savaged and torn. Something has just kind of bitten into someone's thigh and chewed through their leg.
I think we go this way. That looks good.
Do we all see that, or is it?
Well, I assume he's probably holding it up.
I thought he was
He's
going to
got
get
that-
a bite, and he saw this
I
leg.
will go
and
there.
then he would punch it.
He punches the leg.
Punch the leg.
You punch the leg.
When it pops back up again,
Yeah,
I'll pick it up,
okay.
throw it through the.
Okay, throw it through the
towards
hole,
the others.
and it squelches onto the floor. The foot kind of twisting at a weird angle. The boot is off the foot. One big toe is poking through the sock, and the breeches are torn and ripped.
I shall reach over my shoulder and draw one of my 2 axes from my back.
Now, I'm no doctor, but I don't think he's going to make it.
I will investigate it just to see if I can tell what could have ripped it off.
We should perhaps go and see if the rest of him is more intact, I feel.
How big is the foot?
It's a human leg.
Yes, I rolled.
You can tell that he
You agree
clearly
it's a
had
human
very
leg?
poor, very poor hygiene.
Mm.
And it looks like
His leg's been floating in shit since it was removed. You might have to
his
get great hygiene.
toenails are extremely long, curled, and disgustingly dirty.
Might have been a holy man.
Maybe. And the leg has finished bleeding out, so the flesh is pale. And it looks like something with a small mouth has very viciously torn into this thing's leg.
When you say small mouth, do you mean like a cockroach or a spaniel?
No. I mean, like, not like a bear or a dog, but
A
like
giant rat.
person
like
or
a giant rat.
or a giant rat.
Like a
Or a
snake.
spaniel?
Do we need to
So
hang,
Skaven have quite bigger,
Alright.
pronounced jaws.
do we need to wait here? Does anyone need to do any scribbling, or can we just go?
I think we should probably head towards where
It's
that
not,
leg floated
it's not
down
exactly
from.
the
because
most,
that's the kind of sensible thing
pleasant
that we
place
should
to
be doing,
linger.
isn't it? People in our
May I
position.
suggest?
Alright, let's get this over with. Let's go upstream.
Okay. So
This sewer, has it got like side bits that I could walk along, or am
No.
I going to have to wade through the shit?
it's
Are you
wading
just
through the shit.
it's fine, you just jump on my back, boss.
Good man, thank you.
Master blaster.
Have you got sturdy? Are you now encumbered?
I'm okay being encumbered. I don't mind being encumbered.
Well, you're going. I assume you're going slowly and carefully anyway, because
I'm going slowly and carefully. Do not want to drop Mr. Seuss. You might be a
Not
bit
one before one on.
unimpressed.
Okay,
I have got a
To go.
sling now, so we can master blaster it.
you can. Okay.
I will holster my axes as I'm carrying a load
While walking through a load.
while walking through
A lot
stuff.
of loads.
hmm You head up the corridor, and it goes for a way. There are a few sort of smaller channels that come in, much like the small tunnels that you saw before, where there are sort of grills over them and the effluents coming out into this
These
major
sewers
channel.
are very well maintained. I mean, for all the downsides to them and the
And the
being
hole,
full of
the
shit
holes.
and the hole, but aside from that, I haven't seen a single shitberg. Have you?
Well, the dwarven made, they're built to last.
Yeah, but don't you have like blokes down here poking the shitbergs apart?
A bit further up, you see floating in the water a lantern as it starts bobbing down
Is it
the
still
channel.
lit?
No. It's
Oh,
just
that's not
like
a menacing omen at all, is it?
a dead lantern just drifting down the thing, and then as next to it comes some sort of long pole with a curved blade on the end of it, which looks really dull and old and rusted.
Like
It's a rat catcher.
It looks more like some sort of big scraping device.
Yeah.
Dunnikin divers.
I might see if the lantern is retrievable. Tap it out, you know.
Okay. As you pick it up,
Yeah.
there's a hand attached to the
I'll
thing,
just-
and it looks like it's kind of seized up in a moment of some sort of
That's
weird.
fine. I can deal with the hand later.
The arm has been chopped by a blade, not bitten through.
I'll just hook the lantern in.
Okay, with the hand.
So I
Yeah,
can deal with that later.
you've got to break the fingers. Okay, so
I've done that before.
Is this while he's still on your back?
yeah, just reached down. Whoops, we're just banging your head on the wall.
That's the Barbie mini breeches.
Okay, so you make your way a bit further up the corridor and you see that there is a hole in the wall, another hole, and this looks like large blocks have been pushed out into the channel, and there is a mound of earth, and the effluent is kind of building up behind it and trickling through, almost like the channel is partly dammed.
I think everyone down here is damned.
yeah. And there is blood splattered across this earth and into this hole. As you approach, you can see
So
that.
it's like a tunnel coming off of it.
It looks like someone has punched through the hole into the
Tunneled
wall,
into
into
it.
the sewer.
That sounds like rat men to me.
Well, let's have a look then. Go into the hole.
Okay.
Well, I can't go into the hole because obviously I'm sitting on someone's back and not particularly ambulatory myself
Yeah, I'll
at the
step
moment.
in.
Okay. You approach the hole, and you can see now that there's a dark corridor beyond, and it just seems that there's some sort of earthen dug tunnel in there. It looks fairly like they've tried to do something roughly sort of rectangular, and as you go in, you can even see that there's like some props, sort of looking like they're trying to hold up, the earth.
How tall are they? Like, does it look like it would have been like Skaven height? Because are they short?
They are short, but they're
Slightly-
like twisted.
It's sort of a bit like human if they could stand up fully, but they kind of hunch.
So are the props like human height, or are they?
They're human height.
Right.
They're, as in a mine, you don't build it fully to be completely clear, because that's a waste of resources. You build it so it's just like here, so you just duck under the things. So yes, it is roughly human height.
But let's not jump to any conclusions about Skaven.
There is
The
blood.
Lords of Chaos are happy to take their worshippers from wherever they might find them, remember?
There is blood on the floor, and you can see to one side a large splat with some teeth in it.
I shall put Mr. Seuss down in the bloods, because that's obviously a bit more.
Well, this corridor doesn't have sewage in it.
That's what I mean.
This is just a corridor. Looks like someone's tunneled it. Yeah, an earthen corridor.
Put Mr.
someone's
Seuss
tunneled
down
into the
in
sewer.
the tunnel.
How pleasant.
You were walking for quite a while though, so you walked for like 5, maybe 10 minutes through the sewer as little offshoots were coming on, and then you found this way, and it's on the left.
Crossbow ready.
Crossbow ready. You go into the tunnel. It's even though it doesn't stink and shit, it's slightly more oppressive here because it's slightly more enclosed. Dwarves don't mind, but the humans
The
in
tallest human in the world.
Do I feel oppressed?
a little bit. You punch the ceiling. Hartwin is having particular trouble because he's having to.
I'm hunched.
Oh yeah, creepy.
I'm creeping. I'm good at
Brown.
creeping.
Impressed.
Okay, and you
Shoulders
can now
back, chest
all
out.
hear from up ahead you a noise.
Scottish comedian?
Someone's eating oysters.
Does it sound like a mutant or like chittering?
It sounds a lot like both of those things to me.
You're not sure.
I'm going to visibly count to 5, as if I'm waiting to see if the dwarfs do anything. And then when I get to 5,
Okay, you're going to keep walking forward.
oh, okay, I'll walk behind him then.
The corridor,
How wide is the corridor?
it's probably 6 foot wide and 6 foot tall.
So what, about 2 people abreast?
Not swinging. That's one person. If you're gonna, unless you're all in sort of phalanx formation,
Like shield walls, you might say.
like a shield wall.
You could get a 2-person
I
shield.
don't want to be behind that. God, I'd be so bored. Get no fun.
Watch our
I'm going to go
travel
like
show.
second or third because I've got my crossbow, so I can shoot over the heads of.
Can it be behind the shield wall of the traveller show?
You can shoot the dwarf in the back of the head. Okay, the corridor comes to a corner, so there's a bend. It's not a 90-degree corner. It's like it's kind of curving around, and slumped against the wall is some form, some person. It looks like a man from where you're standing. Has all the right proportions to be a man, and it seems to be. You can see sticking out of one side a hand, and the other side what looks like a head or a shoulder, and it's going. It's clearly eating someone or some person.
I
Oh,
aim.
How far away is it?
Yeah, I aim.
Okay, let's roll initiative, but it doesn't get to go in the first round.
Right, remember what initiative is?
Roll a d10 and add your
And
agility.
D10.
Oh, we're
Roll,
great.
roll 1d10 and add your agility.
I got 2. I got 2. It was an amazing roll. 1d10. I got 2. Woohoo! And add my agility. Oh, okay. That's like
49.
49.
49.
49.
Torvald.
36.
36.
So I meant to roll higher.
Bagrik.
27.
27.
I
Oh,
rolled a 2. I've got quite high agility for a dwarf.
29. So I rolled 2. I didn't understand the concept.
Hartman.
43.
43. Okay. You're all taken aback by this creature. It looks like his spine is kind of curved and twisted. One of his arms, which is kind of round the front and you can't see the other end of it, looks bloated and disgusting here, like large muscles and torn, like ripped flesh underneath the skin. It's kind of hunkered down. Just wearing kind of very loose breeches that are torn and soiled and filthy. Gunter Seuss, you are first. There's kind of a clamour of people in front of you, and you're kind of aware of this going on. And between Alvin's legs, you can probably see this going on.
There's not a lot I can do in terms of ranged combat-wise, though, is there?
Not really. You're a slinger, aren't you?
Yeah. I've got a sling, but
Yeah.
if I'm behind them, I can't use
Yeah,
the
not
sling.
in this corridor, unfortunately.
So, and once they spread out a little bit, I can start peppering him with little stones.
Yeah.
But for now,
You're going to wait?
I shall wait.
Okay. Heart Twin.
Wait, no. I shall say something inspiring to the
Okay,
men.
cool.
Get him, lads!
I'm inspired.
And sort of blood spits out of its mouth and it turns around.
Thanks, Jim.
It turns around and you can see that its arm ends in a giant claw, like some sort of crab crustacean claw. And it sort of turns to look at you. One of his eyes is on a little stalk. His other eye is a normal eye, but yellow. And he kind of... Hartman, what are you going to do? There are a few people in front of you, but I will say you can fire over the top of a dwarf at a minus 10% penalty. Because you're in close confines.
Well, yeah, because I wouldn't be able to move past him, really.
No.
So I will aim and shoot
Okay.
at minus 10.
Yes.
So my ballistics is now 52,
Okay.
plus 20 to aim, 72, minus 10, 62. I'm going to re-roll my 97 because that's a critical
You
failure.
can use one of your fortune.
And we'll use one of my fortune points. So
Okay.
7. Yes, 33.
Okay. So the bolt flies through the air between the dwarven hair, between your heads. Your hair kind of flips in the air. Roll damage. So you got 33. So you got it in the torso. I think.
Yeah, that's right arm.
Oh, right arm. In its claw arm.
In the claw arm.
Yeah.
What's damage? I can't remember.
D10 plus 4.
D10 plus 4. There you go. Something nice, please. Oh, 14.
Oh, you got a 10.
Yeah.
Roll your whatever you needed to hit again. Because you got Ulrich's Fury.
Did I?
Yes.
Ooh. So that was
If
14.
you roll a 10, you get what's called Ulrich's Fury. So you roll your
Oh, it's an
original,
exploding die.
yeah. So you roll your original D100 to hit requirement,
Mm-hmm.
and if you get it again, you roll another D10.
Yes, hit 45.
Okay.
So roll a D10. You don't add the 4 again. You just add the
4.
So 14, 18.
18 damage
To his arm.
to his arm. Okay.
So roll a good hit.
Rather.
It's
Yes. It explodes.
A fine hit.
A palpable hit.
Does that mean his arms like pinned
That's
to a wall?
a critical hit.
Ooh.
It's a good start, Jim.
Yes. In one shot. Let's have a critical roll. So roll a D100.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's get me to.
And do I want high or low? Just so I
Oh,
don't
you
have
want
to be excited.
high.
Okay, I want high.
Oh, you're really high, and you get
Oh, no,
to
80,
strike the goal
82.
yourself.
No, sorry, you want low.
Oh, 82.
82.
Well, 28 then.
And that is a. Sorry, let me just calculate what level of critical this is. So, his
Probably
damage
quite a
bonus
lot.
is 3.
Ooh.
So you rolled 18.
I
So you
did, so
15
15
plus
points of
damage.
damage.
So it's a plus 4 critical, which means you got a 6 on arm. Oh, the arm is demolished by the attack. So the bolt punctures the shell of his crustacean arm and shatters it. A kind of weird pinky, feathery flesh coming out from inside. Anything held in the hand is dropped. Blood loss is such that the character has a 20% chance of dying each round until medical attention is received. Does anybody want to give him medical attention?
Tempting.
I'll roll it for this turn.
Never underestimate the power of the bardic inspiration.
Oh, at the start of each round. Okay.
Yeah, so
Use the sudden death rules for any critical hits. Further critical hits.
I think that means if we hit him, he dies.
6. No, you roll
Oh.
on a 6 up. He's dead. If
So
you
that was a
hit him
rather
again.
spectacular hit.
Okay, so it screams in pain. Blood sprays across the corridor, and this kind of horrible scream gets all of you on edge. And from further around the corridor, you hear more grunting noises. And it sort of falls backwards. Fear in its eyes, but it's its go, and it is going to run forward and try to attack
The dwarf.
the dwarf.
With
Bagrik.
one non-claw arm now, just a human punch.
It flails wildly, but pain and blood and
Incompetence.
fear are kind of filling its mind, and it kind of bangs against your armour ineffectually. Yes. Right.
It's dry humping your shield.
Next, it's Torvald.
In which case, I'm going to try and swing past my brother
Okay.
and
Give it a whack.
give it a whack.
Okay. Make a roll at minus 10%.
But plus 10 if I'm also in combat with it.
Okay, there you go.
Just make it
Balances it.
Yep. 40 it is then. No.
Okay. You swing. You feel, Bagrik, that someone's trying to give you a haircut today, with crossbow bolts and axes swinging past your head. Maybe it's a message. The creature is still drooling all over your shield as Alvin turns towards it.
So I'm stood behind the dwarves
Okay.
because, well, there's 2 of them.
Okay, so you.
It's like a shield wall thing.
Yeah,
going
sure.
on.
Okay.
I'm going to inspect this lantern and remove some fingers.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, fine.
Sure. You hear cracking bone behind you as you wind up for a big hit. It's your go.
Oh, okay. I'm going to hit it.
How many fingers do you have?
plus 10.
47. Yes, that's a hit. So I up my weapon skill.
Excellent. Cool. Right. Roll. You can roll damage.
8.
Okay.
And I've got another attack if it's still alive.
Well, make a critical roll. We'll do the criticals. Where did you hit him, by the way? 47. 74.
74 is the body.
Okay.
And I got a 76 on the crit.
Okay.
Plus something for him already.
Oh,
being
and
quickly wounded.
it goes up by 1 because I've got strike to injure.
Okay,
One bang.
right. So
And
Jumps on.
as you bring your, you've got an axe, haven't you? As you bring your axe round, he tries to sort of block with his arm, but misses, and your blade slides into his stomach underneath, ripping through his guts, his entrails that spill out in a kind of horrible uncooked sausage way, and blood sprays across you, and your axe wedges into his gut, and he just kind of empties out as you're standing there holding the top of his body up, and this horrible, disgusting smelling blood and gore pours out onto the floor around your nice new boots.
Oh no, I'm wearing my rubbish.
Okay.
boots 'cause we're going back
he's
to
over
over
your-
rubbish.
Over your old rubbish boots. It is dead. The light goes out of its
I'll
eye.
shove it off my shield with my second
You
weapon.
can.
Can I try and get my crossbow bolt back?
It's probably in the wall after you exploded it
That's
down.
Yes, you can get your crossbow bolt back.
Yeah.
What are they made of? Those
Alright,
crossbows? It's only
I
get
shall
some
discard
armor
the
made out of
hands.
Okay.
Use a rag.
Handling.
Yeah.
You throw the hand down,
Thank you.
and it kind of rolls across the floor and lands next to
from like poking
an
it.
arm of the carcass that this creature was eating, and you can see the face sort of half drenched in blood, with a big matted beard and lank hair. Some old man who's had one hand severed, and his arm is being gnawed, his leg is missing, and it's just like a crumpled sack of flesh on the floor.
Does he have a tattoo on him to show? Because the guild said they had people gone missing.
Yeah. Should we take him back?
He doesn't have a tattoo.
I think we need
no,
a sack to
no,
keep
just-
it back.
You can hear
Talk about-
noises.
just write
from
down a
further
description of him. We'll let
A quick sketch.
There might be more. There might be more. I reload my.
Did you ever get a guy down the body, just like one arm and a
Reload.
head?
Turn towards the things with the
You can
bolt
hear
that I
this
killed.
noise down the corridor.
Is there a
That's going to be a
wider
bitch
part
for
of the
you to
corridor?
edit, by the way, because you just right in your microphone.
Are you two going to move down the corridor, or are
good,
you going
horrible
to
noise.
get out of the bloody way so someone can go near whatever it is that's making
Um,
stupid, funny noise?
Is there a wider part of the corridor?
As it sort of moves away from you, you can see it widens out into some sort of chamber.
We will advance down the corridor.
Okay.
I'm still standing
So
behind
good.
the door.
Shall hook my lantern back and finish polishing that up later.
Okay, cool. So you head up the corridor, and there's this horrible noise coming from down the corridor. But you can also hear sort of shuffling, and someone seems to be muttering in a low, no, kind of weird, strange voice.
Is he going? No limit.
No, yes.
Should we hurry along?
Okay, move along the corridor, and you can see there is
Some rooms.
Sorry. You can see into a larger chamber, which at the far side there seems to be some sort of door built into this wall, and there is a small human-like figure with his hands pressed against the chest of a creature that can only be described as a beast man in the centre of the room, and he's trying to restrain this creature. The door is open at the far end, so there's an open door. You can see through into a more
Does he look like he's
well-made
trying to
room.
defend himself?
He's going, no, and the creature's going, and he's got a dirty, great, sort of meat cleavery type sword in his hand, and looks like he wants to head in your direction, and in fact can see that you're coming, and doubles his efforts to nudge this small man who seems to be restraining him out of the way.
Oh, so he's not trying to attack the bloke, he's just trying to get past him and get to us.
Yes, and this
Yeah, but he's
strange
also letting
little old man
this little old man restrain him. That's got to tell you something.
suddenly moves out the way and starts running for the door, and the creature, which looks like a large man with horns and a goat-like face, goat-like features. The bottom of his feet bend the other way and end in hooves.
Digitigrade.
That's the word. I just don't like saying it. I always get it wrong.
What is it?
Digitigrade.
Digitigrade.
There you go. What was it, Ben?
Alright, yeah,
He charges down the corridor
it's
towards
my
you,
job.
running straight at the two of you into combat. And
Oh, straight
I'm gonna-
into combat.
Yeah. So I'm going to roll his initiative to fit him into the order that we had before. Okay. So, Gunter, what are you doing?
I'm going to sprint sideways into the room and try and take down the fleeing old man with a sling.
Okay. Right. So you move down the side of the corridor.
Yep.
Make
There's a room, yes?
There is. It's now expanding out.
It's
It's
expanding
almost
out to a
like
room.
tear-shaped, coming to.
If
like
this
a-
guy's coming for us, like that way, I'm
Mhm.
going to go that way.
Sure. You skirt along the wall.
Yeah.
You can sling at the guy.
That's what I should do then.
Go
How
for
do
it.
I do that?
You make a roll against your ballistic skill.
36, which is less than 46, so yes.
Okay, so you hit him. Roll damage. 1d10 with the sling strength. Or
8, how much strength is this?
For a sling's got to be minus something lows. Is
Three.
it 3? That's a strong thing. I think a longbow is 3.
So that would be 11 then.
Okay, you do 11 points of damage there.
2 is 63s.
Right in the 63. 4. 3. Okay, cool. So you hear an ah as this man runs out of the door, grabbing the handle as he goes to shut the door. Hang on, let me see where he fits in. Yes. After you, he shuts the door. And this huge beast man is now standing in front of the two of you going, "Rrrr." You've heard about beast men, maybe even seen one or two in the woods on your way here. They are horrible, chaos-imbued creatures that were once people who have now become horrible, twisted versions of themselves. His horns aren't huge, but he's charging at you rather viciously. Heartwin, you're next.
Is he in combat with them?
Yeah, he will. Well, not yet. He's charging them on his turn.
Aim and fire.
Okay.
25. So hit. 8 points of damage.
In the left arm.
8 points of damage in the left arm. Okay. The bolt thuds into the muscle, his bicep, and he grunts in pain as he comes barreling forward. Next is Torvald.
So has he reached combat? Or is he still?
So you could move into combat with him if you want to.
I'm actually going to hold position
Okay.
and position myself to the right hand side because I'm left-handed.
Okay.
So we can, so we can get him from both directions.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So you're going to hold your action.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now it's go. So it's going to run in, and it's going to attack.
Did you get 2 goes?
No, I just rolled initiative. So it turned to come towards you.
Yeah.
Roll initiative. Now it's actually charging into combat.
Okay.
He's going to attack Bagrik, and he's charging you.
Alright.
It hits you in the 13.
Oh, the 13. That's a
I
hit.
parry it with my shield.
Cool.
On a
Okay.
22.
Nice.
Cool. So does that negate it?
Yes.
Okay.
Once per round, you can parry 1 attack and dodge 1 attack.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a skill? Is parry a skill?
No parry, you have to be in defensive stance unless you're carrying a defensive weapon such as a shield,
Which you are.
which I am.
Or a parrying dagger
Um,
and main gauche.
In order to dodge, you do have to have the skill dodge. It's an
Right.
advanced skill.
Cool. Okay, so he comes in. This dirty, great meat cleaver sword, bringing it down towards your head, and you bring your shield up, and there's like a dull thud as it makes contact.
Would you leave his lower half
Did-
open for the old high-low?
Did you want to make an action now?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
I will swing in to try and take him. No.
Okay.
No, I definitely don't.
Okay. You swing as you're moving, and in the darkness, the uneven floor, you kind of misstep and miss. Right. Next is Alvin. Do you want to come move round and attack it from the side? You've kind of got one dwarf in front of you. One dwarf's gone to the right, so there's the halfling's over there, and he's standing behind with a crossbow.
Kidney punch.
Okay. I shall move behind him and punch him in the back of the head.
Okay.
What
You
number
get
do I
plus-
need to
you
roll
get
to
plus
hit the head?
10%.
Head is.
Are you actually aiming
if
you're
you're
targeting a head, it's
15.
like -20 or
No,
something.
no. I'm not
No,
targeting
just-
the head. I'm just going to roll the
Oh,
number
okay.
required to hit the head.
I'm just going to roll it.
Yeah.
So you need to remember your reverse to get your location. So you'll need to roll.
I'd need to be really good to hit him. I can't do that. I don't think.
No, you can.
Okay.
You roll a 10.
Like
Rolling a 10 and do it.
Yeah.
10, 20, 30.
11.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to use one of those.
Fortune points.
Yeah. Okay, I think that does it.
23.
23.
Okay, so you don't quite punch him in the
Hits him
head.
in the right arm.
Hit him in the right arm.
Is that the one he got in last time? No, he was hitting the left. I think I shot him in the
In the left arm.
I shot him.
Yeah. Okay, damage.
-3, so it's 6 points of damage. 6 points.
-3.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
but-
basically
and
just
your strength
smacked
bonus.
him.
What's your
Oh,
strength?
my strength bonus. Yeah, strength bonus. Ooh, +4. So it's actually just +1.
So you do 13 points of damage.
10.
No, 10, because it's -3 for hitting people.
You're unarmed.
Is strength bonus. Is
Oh,
your
okay. Strength bonus -3.
-3.
Okay, so you did 10 points of
10 points
damage.
of damage, yeah.
Okay.
I punched him in the back of the head for 10 points of damage.
You did punch him.
Eat that, you chaos
You
scum.
punched him in the shoulder. You
Yeah.
kind of nearly got
That's
him in the
fine.
back.
You gave him
It
a
was a
massage.
bit of a blur.
Yeah, it was.
I caught him with my elbow.
You moved so fast, you disorientated
Yeah.
yourself. Right, that's a
that's what
critical
happened.
hit. Ooh. So
This is where you punch through his shoulder and pull his heart out the front.
make a roll. You want to roll low.
On 2 dice?
Yeah.
Okay. 43.
That's not too bad.
Kidney punch.
He laughs.
Okay, you've got knuckle dusters, haven't you?
Yes.
You punch so hard that you break his shoulder, and his arm, which was holding the weapon that had clanged into the shield,
Yeah.
slumps down to his side.
Hardy har har.
Immediately, it seems to swell, as if there's some horrible internal bleeding going on, and you see the creature start to wobble slightly, and he sort of turns to look at you. And goes to. Looks like you've now got his attention.
Okay.
You just Fist of the North Starred him.
Bagrik.
Bad decision, beastie.
Bagrik's always sort of mopping up. It's like last to go, dead.
47, yes, that's a hit.
In the
74,
leg,
body
body. Oh, okay, cool. Right.
for 10 points of damage.
Okay, that's a critical. Roll anything but 91 to 100.
71.
Okay.
Splat.
And it
In
goes
what
up-
horrible, gruesome way would you like him to die?
I'm going to hack his spine so he literally just collapses.
Okay, cool. As he turns round to face Alvin, your axe connects with the base of his spine, and it brays in pain like a murdered donkey, and blood hoses out across you, covering your arm. You've now got guts on your legs. You've got
That's how you know
beastly
you've
blood
done,
on
that's how
your
you know
arm.
you've done an honest day's work.
And his body sort of cracks and he's with the pain in his right arm and the problems in his back. He hits the floor like a sack of bolognese and potatoes.
Sack of bolognese and potatoes.
Yeah.
Bolognese and potatoes.
Yeah, that would sound horrible. Yeah. Okay.
Can we come back, or can I run for the outer door where this other guy?
The combat has ended, but you can run for the door.
I'm running for
I
the
too was giving chase to that geezer, but I've only got little legs.
Sure. Well, this has all happened in pretty much one round.
Yeah.
So you both run to the door, and you grab the handle, and it's actually sort of seems to be. There's no lock, so you don't think it's locked. You think it's probably barred on the other side.
Take it down! I'll try and bash it down.
Okay, you start hacking at the door.
I'll run over because I've got an axe, which could be really handy for chopping through a door.
Yes.
Alright, do you want to make that right? You're probably stronger than me, I'll say.
I might get out of the way.
I'll start wailing on the door.
Alvin, you're sort of standing there while these guys run off, and you look down at the creature, and you see that it has a very nice silver ring in its nose.
Not anymore.
Okay, you're going to take that.
I'm going to punch
the
him.
nose.
Right? Break his nose.
Okay.
And then
Okay, right.
Yeah.
You take it out.
Yeah.
And you can see that it's very fine craftsmanship.
Okay.
And there seems to be some sort of symbol, like a little wheel symbol engraved in what would have been the surface that would touch his top lip.
Ah. I will not put my fingers upon that.
Okay.
I might pour a little bit of lantern oil from my lantern. I may step away. I may burn his body.
Okay. Yeah. So there's now a roaring fire behind you in the cavern.
Mr. Seuss! Mr. Seuss!
Stinking beastmen burning in this small enclosed space. And you guys are hacking at the door.
Yeah, try and get through.
Okay, so it takes you a minute or so just to all of you in each other's way, chopping at it. And the door sort of falls apart, and you can see on the inside that there is a nicer made earthen room, and standing at the far side there is a man wearing some sort of robe, not the man who ran away from you, and he is standing there looking at you.
Sling to the face!
Okay, he seems to be petrified.
Not the stone,
But-
literally the sling.
But you
More
sling him in the
petrified.
face. Are you going to sling him in the face, or are you talking to Alvin?
No, I'm going to sling.
Okay, you sling him in the make a roll.
It may be his face, it probably won't be his
Yeah,
face.
sure. You sling him.
I sling him in the face!
You sling him in the face. Right.
Yep. Oh no, wait, no. I hit him for definite on a 3,
Okay.
but that's a
Okay,
30, which is actually a completely
arm.
different. It's his right arm.
Okay. Roll damage.
8.
Okay. You sling him. As you sling him, you realise that there's some sort of torch in the room because it's fairly lit in here. But you can't see it. Maybe it's on the wall to the left behind the door, but there's some light in the room, which is allowing you to range attack him. And as the sling strikes him in the shoulder, you see that he was actually holding in his hand a candlestick. It looked like he may have been holding a dagger for a moment, but it wasn't. And the candlestick drops to the floor. And he reaches for his arm in pain, and you now see behind him there is some sort of table, some crappy wooden table propped up in the corner of the room.
Bloody table users. Can't trust them.
Have we rolled any initiative, or is he not a tactical?
He's
Just a little blow with a candle.
He's just standing there like that. It's just like he's not engaging you in combat. He is crying and collapsing to the floor.
I will move to restrain him.
There is a puddle forming on the floor beneath him.
I will move to restrain him with my manacles. Is he a human?
Don't hurt me! That really hurt! Don't hurt me anymore, please! Please! as you get close, you can see he's got scratchy, horrible, matted beard. His hair is lank. He looks dirty under this robe, and he stinks, much like the sewer behind you.
Which way did the other guy go?
Are you saying this to the guy?
Yeah. Which way did the
He
other
kind
guy
of points now, and the bit of the room you couldn't see, where there's a torch on the wall, there is another door. He's gone. That really hurt. Oh, they fought.
Who are you? And what are you doing here?
If you're staying there, I'm heading after the other guy. Like I'm just leaving.
My name's Ged. They gave me food and shelter and water, and I just had to participate. That was all. I just had to stand in the corner with a candlestick, like the others.
What others?
They got us from the docks.
Keep going.
Well, one of them was in there with him. Did you find him?
What, the monster? Beast man?
Frederick, my friend, Frederick. They took him in there.
The old guy?
Yes.
The one who's run past you?
No.
The other one?
You think he's probably talking about the poor man that was chewed to bits?
Did he have a crab arm, this other one?
What?
Big crab arm?
No.
No. Right, then I'm sorry to tell you your mate's dead.
Oh.
They ate him.
Oh.
So, you were probably next on the menu, so... Done you a bit of a service there.
Do you want me to shut him up or do a bit of healing?
No, you do a bit of healing, can you?
Yeah.
Well, give that a crack.
Yeah.
Well, not a crack, literally, but...
Have this silver thing. Don't touch the bit on the back, else it might turn you chaos and I might have to kill you.
Fair enough. I shall take it
And
in
I
a
might have to
hanky.
kill you. Well, hit you at least anyway, I shall perform some healing upon this man.
Okay.
Crack! He's dead, boss.
What healing are you going to do?
Well, I shall see if the...
Have you got a skill? Have you got
I think
Pray for him.
bandages?
first aid.
Heal. Okay, make a intelligence roll. The healing.
Probably not.
So you were doing a Mr. Miyagi rubbing hands.
Yeah. I'm just going to basically see. I'm just
You're going to tend to his wounds.
See if it's
Basically,
broken.
the sling wound.
See if it's broken. I'm going to I'll put his arm in a,
In a
Okay,
sleeve.
yeah. He puts his arm in a sling. He's like,
Living
it reminds me of how it happened.
I shall reassure him with a calm voice.
The bone isn't broken. It's just really badly beaten,
Right, look.
bruised.
So you need to calm down, because let's be honest here.
Right. You need to follow us.
I'm not
so
even
you can
4
get
foot
out
tall,
up
so...
to daylight, and then we'll get
You
back
don't
to
want
the
to.
docks.
You don't want to go up there.
Or not?
They're doing all kinds of shit up there.
Well, not
Right,
long.
well that's where we're going then. We've got to go, because...
It's like a room with like candles and a thingy on the floor. They've like
a thingy?
painted a thing on the floor,
What kind of thing?
like a circle with a
Right.
shape in it. They're
What
trying.
shape?
I don't know. They're trying to do something.
Okay.
You don't know what the shape is?
Trying not to pay too much attention. They're just hide in the corner, and hopefully they won't pick me to be the next person to come down
If you
here.
go, if you go through
Looks
the
like
door,
I was next.
you go through that door, go to the end of the corridor, into the sewer, turn left.
There's something on fire in there.
That is, just go past.
Wait, you know
that.
what? Stay here.
Okay.
There's nothing in there that can hurt you.
Okay.
If there's anything in there that can hurt you, we'll let you know in a minute. Alright?
Okay. There's a few of them.
There's a few of us.
Okay. And there's some of my people there as well. Don't hurt them, please.
Who are your people from the docks?
Yeah, we're like,
Dockhands?
sometimes. Fishermen
bit tougher
sometimes.
than
Bit of this,
one
bit of
little-
that. I catch rats sometimes.
I hit you with a stone. Come on, man.
It really hurt.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
You hit his funny bone. Like,
But seriously,
that
come
hurts
on.
so much.
You've been toe to toe with like the minions of chaos for
What?
weeks, and you're upset with a little stone. Come on.
Seen any of them? The rooms above that room, they do stuff and things happen down here.
Right. Well, we better get going up there then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still not entirely sure I trust this geezer. Is he trying to pull a fast one? Why am I? I'm going to try and read him. See if he's pulling a fast
Read
one.
him. Okay.
Perception, I'm savvy.
Okay.
I'm a charmer. I'm all by myself. So.
Charmer.
I'm a midnight stalker.
Midnight Stalker. Okay.
I believe that, Jim.
Let's have a.
Is he
Evil
genuine,
experience.
or is he an evil cultist trying to pull a fast one?
Let's have a perception roll, and I'll give you +10 because you're savvy.
Perception. 51 comes off of intelligence. My intelligence is 40.
+10.
2%. I'm out by one.
Do that.
You think he's you think he's genuine?
Yeah.
He's pissed himself, and
That's
he looks
difficult
like
to
a
practice.
homeless man, and he's wearing rags under this robe. There's nothing. He's got no.
Well, if he is a cultist, he's a crap one. So let's worry about more serious ones.
I shall take out my axe. I shall even put my buckler on my arm.
He means business.
How many
Yeah.
manacles do you have, Harwin?
This is serious.
Oh,
Oh,
gone.
I left ages ago. Like I'm not even there.
No.
We need to
You're
go.
going up the corridor.
We need
Like
Oh, I
five
left
and a
ages ago.
half.
I left before they
These would
started
be like,
talking.
these would be like
When?
so dead before we get.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna head on.
Okay. You all notice that Hartman's disappeared.
Yeah, you might be dead.
Better
Jim.
get going.
You make your way along.
If I'm by myself, I would sneak.
Sure.
I
Make a
would,
roll.
I would go silently. So what's move size? What's
Agility.
Silent move agility.
agility? Come on. Oh, failed by 3.
Okay. Cool.
I rolled 38 and I've got 35. So unless I could get a sticky bonus for being dark and generally.
You can have +10%.
Just
being
as I'm
sneaky.
moving sneakily.
Sneaking. As opposed to thinking you're moving sneakily and not.
Well, as opposed to think you're moving sneakily, but you're saying it out loud, going.
That was just when Hartwin made his way along the corridor.
I'm narrating myself.
Okay, so you make your way along the corridor, and it reaches a set of twisting stairs, and you make your way up quietly. You're being fairly quiet,
Yeah.
you know, considering all the kit you're carrying. You know, you're doing a good job. And as you reach the top of the stairs, you see that there's a doorway and there is light coming through a crack. Sort of cracks around the door. You know, it's obviously not perfectly fitted. And you peer through one of the cracks. And someone jabs you in the eye.
And I'm dead. Knew it would be you, Jim.
And
You
can
just survived being jabbed in the eye, which makes you fall off the stairs.
You see a small room, and in this room there is a table, and 2 men are sitting by the table. They have armor, shields, and swords, but they look like they're playing something on a table, like they're guarding the doorway, but they're playing at dice or something. And a corridor continues past them. And you can see a larger room and people moving about in there.
A lot of people.
No, sort of 3 or 4 people, you're not sure. But you can see moving up past the open sort of passageway. It may be a massive room with 100 people in, but only 3 of them are walking in front of the gap.
And so the guards that are sitting there, can I see anything in the room that he's guarding, or are they kind of? Do I think it's guarding the door that I'm
It's probably guarding the door that you are standing. And you realise now, the corridor you're in kind of curved round, the staircase twisted up and around. The big room you're looking at ahead of you probably sits above the chamber where the Beastman was.
Okay. I don't have Death Wish. I head back down to find a view.
Okay.
Meet us on the way up.
You guys are heading along the corridor.
Yeah.
And Hartwin quietly comes down the corridor again.
And I'm like being like quiet and going shh.
Okay.
And quietly explain that there's
Was that Timmy?
someone stuck down a well. There's at the top of the stairs. There's a room with 2 guards who are not particularly alert or waiting to see if anything will come through this door. If we surprise them, we may have a chance, but
Do
otherwise,
they have helmets on?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Helmets and armour.
What kind of armour are they wearing?
Chain.
They look pretty tough. Yeah. So we can either head back now, or we can carry on going through this door. There's definitely going to be 2 guards and some people in the room beyond.
Well, if you two smash the door open and then drop to a knee and you shoot over the top of them, you should be able to take at least one of them that way.
Well, smashing the door open will,
Yeah.
take time.
We can just knock.
Excuse me, Meister.
Well,
I said harder, not hit me over the head with
the
a...
thing is, they're guards, so that they should come to the door.
It's a theory.
Why don't listen? Being serious, why doesn't someone go the other side of the door? I'll knock on the door. As they open it, I'll go shit and run away. And as they come out, someone can come from behind
Make
them.
perception
and
rolls.
I pass anyway.
Plus 10% because you're all being fairly quiet. Apart from
I
the
passed
Alvin,
by
who's
all of the
like, I'm going to go up there,
Right.
punch him in the face.
No, the reason I ask is it hearing?
It is hearing.
Then I pass by a lot.
Yeah.
I passed by a lot also.
Okay. You hear someone say, "What the fuck are you doing? I said keep an eye on that fucking door!" And run away. Well, not run away, but go away.
Hold on, plan C. Let's get Matey to scream and shout and make a fuss like, oh god, they're going to get me. And then when they come charging downstairs to see what's going on, we can trouble them.
Or we could just go through that door and break their bloody legs.
I'm just going to go up.
Plan D
I'm
is
just going to go up.
I
just
Alvin's walked up the stairs.
Yeah, I'm going up the stairs.
Okay, cool.
Alright,
You'll start.
I'm behind the dwarves.
You're at the front.
I'm going to kick your face in. You.
Did you try and open the door?
You slag.
Yeah.
Is that what you're shouting?
Bang, 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 bang. Open this door so I can break your face.
Can I just write down on your skill set? Subtlety. Okay.
You hear one of them say, "I tell you what, step back, I'll unlock the door, you come through, we'll go toe to toe."
Okay, I'll step back.
I don't think it's subtlety, I think it's called diplomacy.
You hear 2 guys draw swords on the other side of their door.
Yeah.
Bang on one of them bangs on, like taps on the side of his shield.
Okay.
And then the other guy walks over and you hear it. And
Charge.
you're going to charge through the Okay.
As soon as the gap appears.
Okay, right. The dwarves are right behind you.
The doors are right behind me.
Simon,
Okay.
it's not
The dwarves are right behind me.
Yeah.
It's not. You're gonna die.
We'll learn that soon. Okay, so you charge through the door.
The half-orc barbarian.
Let's roll initiative because they're not surprised. So even if you charge,
Really?
so even if you do,
Oh no,
charge
it's 1,
through
isn't
the
it? Sorry, I rolled 2.
Oh, yeah, sorry, nice.
You are going to die.
I'm not going to die. You're stupid. I've got 11
You might
wounds.
want to not use knuckle dusters against people in
I've
armour.
got a buckler and an axe.
Alright, I thought you were going to try and... Come on then.
Queensbury rules, chaps.
I'm not actually,
Gunter.
49.
and I'm not actually going to charge as in a charge attack.
Go
I'm
on.
going to
30.
30.
I'm not going last.
Bagrik.
33.
Oh! Lightning. Alvin.
28.
28.
I rolled for 1.
You charge through the door and they both go pop pop.
I'm not charging as an action. I'm moving into
Yeah, you're opening the door,
Yeah.
coming through the door.
They'll go first, so I won't have actually got into the room before they get to the other side.
Well, they've waited to. The combat starts when you enter the room.
So I get to go first.
Or
'cause they're
you just-
holding-
No, if they're not going to start a fight until we go into the room, we'll just stand in the other room and shoot them.
You're not going to stand in front of an open doorway. and let
I'm
you shoot.
assuming that they are holding their attacks until after I've gone.
Okay,
Therefore,
we will
let
let
them
you
first.
do one action first.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Wait. Hard twin.
42.
I do have dodge, blow, and a buckler, so I can parry.
Okay.
That's
I
going to
mean-
come in useful.
I mean, I can
Okay,
actually make
as
some
you come
vague
into the
attempts.
room-
Yeah.
You realise that one of them is standing sort of a couple of yards to your left, and the other one a couple of yards to your right.
I shall move forwards to the one to my right,
Okay.
because why not?
Are you charging him?
No.
Okay.
I'm moving towards him and hitting him with my axe.
Okay. Make a roll.
I will use one of those.
How many have you got?
3.
Okay.
No. I missed you.
Okay. You step into the room, and there's suddenly a lot more illumination.
What you meant?
And your senses are slightly... There's 10 guys. Yeah, no. There's a lot more illumination in here, and you're suddenly like slightly hit by the light, and you swing wildly at him, and he smiles as you miss. Okay. Right, then we go to Gunter.
Nice one. You've lulled him into a false sense of security.
By the time it gets to their round, they're all dead.
In fairness, there's absolutely no way I'm going to be standing at the front of this crowd, so I can't do anything.
That's
Okay.
okay.
Fine.
My quick wits enable me to stand at the back of things.
Hartwin.
Well, I'm behind the dwarves.
Yes, you're 6'2" and they're 4'10".
Yeah.
So 11. Sorry, 4'11". Sorry.
So we're not going to have this whole 1 inch thing.
So
again,
as
are we?
you're a step behind them,
Yeah.
you can shoot over their heads at B, not the one on the right.
At B.
A and B.
Bernard.
Yeah.
Albert.
That's very
Albert and Bernard.
Alright. Well, as it's going to be in my heart, I'm going to aim and shoot. So, you know. Is it, what was it, minus? Or is it minus nothing? Because it's like just
Just minus.
straight over
No,
the
You
you
line.
get a bonus using combat.
No.
No,
If you're
B.
shooting into
Oh.
combat, you get a penalty of
Oh,
minus 20.
Okay.
So, 72. 8.
Okay.
So,
Hit right in the leg.
Get right in the leg.
Oh no,
Okay.
no, that's body just.
What was it?
Yeah, 80.
9.
9 points of damage. Okay.
This will do a lot less than before because they're wearing armour.
They were in
Change of
mail
minus
shirt.
Full
Uh,
notice minus 3, isn't it?
Basically,
Depends
to
on
wear
using it
to wear
on-
chain, you have to have leather
Leather
underneath it.
Alright.
So it's 3.
So yes. And his toughness bonus. Can
Means he takes
can
more
he parry?
You can't dodge or parry a missile attack.
That's true. Right. So you did how much?
9.
9.
If you're holding a shield and you're aware of it, they get minus 10 to shoot you.
He wasn't aware of it. So that's okay. Cool. Okay. The bolt thuds into his armor, and you see him flinch. He was not aware that you were going to do that. Right. Now it's their go. Bernard is going to attack you
Okay.
twice.
Bring it on, Bernard.
Did you have 2 attacks?
No, I only used 1.
Oh,
I
you didn't do a
attacked
full
one.
out attack.
No.
Um.
And I didn't take 2 attacks, I took a bonus to my weapons.
Okay. In fact, he's not going to attack you twice. He's just going to attack you once. Otherwise, he can't do other things, can he?
Depends what he wants to do. Dodging
Like
and
have a
parrying
pie,
doesn't
have a
take
quick
it.
Okay,
smoke.
cool.
It's a
He's
reaction.
going to do 2 attacks on you.
Write a letter home to his mum.
73 is a
40
miss. And 70 is a miss. Not doing very well.
I'm going to smile at him.
Cool. Then Albert is going to attack one of the dwarves. Who's on
Oh,
the
he's
left?
actually going to have to come out of the room then. We
Yes.
haven't even got in yet. Okay.
Are you not sort of just standing in the doorway waiting to come in the room?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Or are you down a couple of steps?
I don't
You
know.
can be down a couple of steps if you
I don't
want
know.
to.
We were on our way.
Yeah, and then someone opened the door and walked in.
In that case, he'll step over and attack you twice. At plus 10%. Oh, 100.
That's a critical fail.
Critical
He
fail.
probably slips on something or throws his weapon.
So he runs straight into the crossbow bolt.
Or he might have accidentally hit his mate in the cross.
That's true. I'll make a roll a die. On a
One die.
7 plus, he hits his friend.
He hits his friend.
Okay, hits his friend.
Betrayal.
Okay.
I was double agent all along.
What the fuck are you doing? Right. He does.
You
Oh.
dick!
Does 11 points of damage.
He really wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
I told you, this man is easy.
Albert, you wanker, what are you doing? Okay, you're a bit lucky there. And his second attack. Okay, here goes. 92. I can't roll for shit tonight. Okay, so they're all flailing around you and stabbing each other, and you're like standing there like, Right.
Should we just leave?
Bagrik.
Roger, just close the door.
Just, you know what? No.
Whilst they attack you, you hear sort of a pandemonium going on in the room in front of you, and you hear people shouting, get clear, run, burn the place down.
Right, I withheld my action, didn't I?
Yes, you
Can I run into that room?
You can't, unfortunately, because you've got two dwarves
Oh,
and a bounty hunter in
yeah,
front of you on the
right.
staircase. You're sort of all going up the stairs into the room. Okay, so
Somebody tossed the halfling.
So, well, you can still hold your action because Bagrik and Torvald are
Nobody
next.
tosses
So
a
Bagrik,
halfling.
you're next.
Alright, seeing Alvin looks like he's, well, in trouble-ish.
I'm doing fine, thank you very much.
I'm assuming I didn't hear that. I'm just going to run up and
Yeah.
scream,
Kazoo!
and hit one of the soul guards.
Manlings.
Okay, which one?
Well, Bernard is.
Whichever one is
Well,
closer.
you can actually get to one A, Albert. You can get to Albert
Alright.
because you're
Yeah.
standing in front of Bernard.
Alright, I'll hit Albert then.
Okay.
A 7.
Okay. That's a hit.
That's a hell.
He is going to attempt to parry
Yeah.
your attack. That's just a roll against weapon skill.
Plus 10 if he's got a shield.
82.
I'm hoping
It's
that's
a
not
pass. No. Ooh, he's a greater demon of corn. No.
Yeah.
So you just get a basic hand.
You all of a sudden just
Right. 12.
12 damage.
to his head.
Okay, to his head.
No, 7 becomes a 70. It's his body.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, right. So he tries to bring his shield around to bear, but he doesn't quite turn fast enough. And your axe just hits him in the chest, and he grunts in pain. You little bastard, you're gonna fucking die.
Like, see you try, manling.
Okay. Torvald.
I'm going to follow the brother,
Mm-hmm.
slide past him as he charges in,
Yep.
and get further into the room to see if I can see what's happening beyond.
Okay, so as you move around the guards, you can see two men in robes coming towards this area,
Mhm.
each of them sort of holding swords, moving towards you. Beyond, there are people knocking things over and setting things on fire. There are sort of tapestries and curtains, draperies all around the outside of this room. They all seem to be a sort of bluey colour, sort of like a dark blue velvet type thing. But people are sticking torches on them and throwing things on the floor, trying to light things. And it looks like some of them are doing a fairly good job of trying to burn everything in the room. And you realise that there are beams around the room that are holding up a ceiling above you, which is probably the floor of a ground floor of a building. And a bunch of people have cleared out of the room to one side. You see a stairwell going up.
Okay.
That's kind of you kind of take that all in. There's fire starting to spread, people running around, bit of pandemonium, and two guys just in robes with swords coming towards you. They don't look like they're armoured. They don't look like they've got bulk enough to be armoured. Alvin, or now Gunter, because the dwarves are out of the stairwell. If you
Yeah,
want to
but
use your
hard to
action.
instill there.
Yeah, but you can get past.
You can step past him because it's
Okay.
fairly wide.
Right, I shall step past him and follow Torvald, but try and see if I can knock out someone in that room.
You're going to sling
I'm going
someone.
to sling someone in
There
that
are
room.
two guys running
Not
towards
them.
you. Oh, someone else.
Yeah, I wanted someone
Okay.
more important than them.
Okay, you can see someone whose robe looks slightly nicer than the others moving towards the doorway.
Right, well, I'm going to try and get him then.
Okay. Make a roll.
37, which is a hit on my ballistic skill.
Okay, and you hit him in the 73, which I assume
Right, in the 73 is
is
the
that
body.
body.
Oh, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
10 plus 3 is
Oh.
13.
Did you roll a 10?
to hit
I
again.
did.
So roll to hit again.
There wasn't any pluses, was I?
No.
No, I don't hit again.
Okay. So it's just 10 plus 3,
It's 13.
13 points of damage. You sling, and the rock, is it a rock or a bullet or ball or something, glides across the space between you and hits him in the base of the spine. Make a critical roll.
Is that both of them or
Yeah.
Yeah.
84?
Okay.
No,
No, you want low.
You want low for criticals.
Which
It's so confusing.
I know.
So, it says struck in the groin, but you basically hit him in the arse.
Right in the arse.
Yeah.
That went through into his groin.
You
bullet
hit
went
your
right up his
stone,
hole.
hits him in the arse, and he screams in pain. Fuck! And like drops to his knees and seems to be like clutching his butt. Ah! Fuck! Ah! Like that. And it is I cannot take any actions for 1 round. Okay, cool.
You
So
should be very glad he was facing away from you.
Alfred, what are you doing?
I'm going to hit Bernard.
Bernard.
I'm going to hit Bernard.
That ain't my real name.
I'm not hitting Bernard.
Okay.
I could use my last one.
You waft
You want
your.
to save that for being hit.
Oh, okay. I'll save it.
You waft your.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right. We're
Stop
back.
moving round.
We're back round to the beginning with Guntersus.
Right, I shall take another slinging action at that same chappie again then.
Okay, cool. Because you will now have compound criticals, so it'll just get worse. And that means he's on 0 wounds, so you might just kill him.
No interrogation going on
No
there.
interrogation, but at least
You
we'll be
could
able
go
to
over and
identify him.
Try
I can't
and-
get to him without going past the 2 sword.
Oh yeah, they're going to engage you in combat at any moment now. If you don't, you can sling the guy before
Can
they
I
get
try
to you.
and run past them and stay out of their way?
Aren't they quite engaged?
There's like a short
not the ones
corridor
they fight.
Yeah.
Alright, there's
in
more.
front of you. You
Yeah,
have
there's two,
to.
like, unarmed
You can just see this
running
guy, and you
around.
can sling him, but you won't be able to run past them. They'll hit you.
Mm.
They will.
Okay,
block
well I'll
your-
try and sling him then because I don't want him getting away.
Okay.
You know, otherwise, you know, what's our methodology? Look for the man who can't shit.
That's probably half
Search
the people
is-
in the city.
Search the city for someone with a giant bruise on their arse.
Okay, anyway.
Just walking down the street
No,
like you.
no.
Bend over.
No.
You drop your
I
trousers.
think you're gonna get. It's gonna start with. Anyway, before we head down that alleyway, let's sling him.
Yes, I hit him again.
Okay.
Roll
Damage. Oh god, he's like rolling massive damage.
Did you roll it?
12 points.
Where was that to?
These you've got
That was to
like
the
lead
body
bullets.
again.
You've got lead. But you found the little lead pellets that you had. Right, so 12. Okay, make a critical roll.
59.
Okay.
He's gone. He's got to be gone.
Okay. You sling so hard and you strike him. It was the body, wasn't it?
It was.
You hit him in the same location.
Hit
As
the other
he's
stone.
clasping it, he's like, like trying to get up, and you hit him square the same part, and you see a large patch of blood appear on the robe. It goes very dark colour. You don't see the red of the blood, but you can tell what it is. And the stone does not reappear. And he slides forwards just forever and ever until his face hits the pavement, dead, and blood kind of trails out from between his legs. There's a strange noise that comes from his body shortly afterwards.
I want
Maybe.
you to walk up to him and say, "Can I ask you a question?"
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hey, good. I like it. Love a pun. Okay, I'm just going to leave the critical hits section.
Yeah. You need that pretty
I
long.
think that's it's pretty swift. Right, so
I am
next,
sorry, I didn't mean to kill him a lot.
next it's Heart Twin.
So I'm holding my crossbow, so I need to take a half action to
Do you have rapid reload?
no, not reload. I mean change weapon. Is that half an action, or can I just kind of drop it and draw a sword?
The drawing the weapon is the bit that takes you.
Half
You
an
could
action.
hold your crossbow like this and draw your sword
Mhm.
and fight people with your sword.
But
If
I
you
can't
want
do
to.
that and move because I need to draw a weapon.
Yeah.
Which is
I
half.
can do a half action move.
You could draw and move. or draw and hit, but there's no one right in front of you.
Yeah, so I will draw and move into. No, will I?
Are you going to move past the
Because
people?
in front of you, you've got Bagrik and Alvin
Mhm.
fighting Albert and Bernard.
Yeah.
And then beyond them,
Yeah.
there's Torvald and Gunter.
Yeah.
And there's two guys in robes with swords who have just.
I know I'm
reached
good. No, I'm reloading. I'm reloading. That's my action.
You're reloading. Okay, cool. Right, Albert and Bernard. So Albert is going to attack you.
No, I think the fight's going to attack Bernard.
Hopefully.
Maybe not.
100.
Okay, that's a bit better. So the first one is 40, so that would be a 0-4 for the head.
I'm going to fortune point that.
Okay.
And parry.
Okay, you
On
parry.
57.
Okay, you parry his first attack. He makes another attack against you. 37, that's a hit.
I'm going to try and dodge.
Have you got dodge?
I do. I don't. I'm going to fortune point it.
Oh, blimey.
No.
Okay.
Well, fortune point is per session, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've got
That's
3.
fine.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
And if I kill you, you can use a fate point
Yeah.
to not die.
Yeah.
So, but then your permanent fortune points are lower.
Yeah.
Okay, so he hits you in the 73. So he swings his sword round and cuts you in the body, right low in the gut. And he does with strike mighty blow. Oh, I rolled a 10. Do bad guys get Ulrich's Fury?
That's entirely up to you. Depends
I
if they're
think
like a
they
hero or not.
I think they do.
Well, surely if they're
I've given him a
Chaos Countess,
name.
They don't get Ulrich's anything.
He's got.
Oh, that's I don't know. He's a guard though, hired by someone to watch this door.
Let's find out.
He does 15 points of damage to your body.
Ouch.
Well, how many
Okay,
charming
so
That's
yeah,
without anything else.
mine
So I
is,
think- I
I
think
say
that-
8 of that.
Okay, so you take 7 wounds, which takes you down to.
6.
Yeah, that's almost
Those
enough.
dwarves are fairly tough.
So buckler gives you a defense of.
It just lets you parry.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Doesn't add to your armor.
Doesn't add to armor like
That's-
a shield does.
No, shield doesn't have to armor. It
That's
just
the
means I
old.
can-
That's first edition.
I can
Warhammer
parry,
Fantasy Roleplay.
but it gives me a bonus to parry. The
Yeah.
shields are a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So Bernard's going to attack you twice. The first one, that's a 26. So that would hit you in the 62, which is body.
Okay, I'll do the thingy for that.
So that's your last fortune point, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I think it's me then.
Sure.
I don't know where it's gone.
Yeah,
I could roll 2 blue ones. Oh, no. So blue will be the 10s. So I parry that.
Okay, so you parry the first one.
Yeah.
Second attack, 28. So hit you in the 82. You
I
can
dodge that.
you got dodge?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So you dodge.
Yeah.
You ding and then slide around, twist and turn, and his blade misses you.
I'm going to smile at him.
You smile at him. He is really pissed off now.
Ulrich's Fury does just say player.
Okay, cool. Okay.
No,
Obviously, I don't
but-
count as a player. Okay, cool. It's alright. That would be a bit harsh, I think. So, it's now Bagrik.
I'm going to hit him.
Okay.
Really hard.
Yes. It's a 4.
Okay. He is going to attempt to parry with his shield. Ooh, 53, that's a fail.
11.
Okay, where did you hit him?
4, so 40. That becomes the left arm.
Okay. So he tries to parry you with his shield, but he brings it down too far and you slice savagely across his shoulder and he screams in pain. And you could tell the scream that came out of him shocked himself.
And the 38, I hit him again.
Okay. Oh, he's going to try
Can
and...
you dodge? He's gonna do
No, he doesn't have dodge. Sorry.
No.
Oh, yes. No, it's a skill. Dodge blow. Sorry.
Yeah, dodge blow.
Yeah, he's going to try and dodge. No.
8.
8 points damage.
On what? What did you roll to hit?
Okay. Roll a critical.
Oh, bonus hit criticals.
In the 80, that's still body, isn't it?
5.
Oh, okay. Your axe comes up in between his legs. hitting him in the groin,
Oh.
which seems to be a focal point for you guys.
It's because we're little.
The pain is such that he cannot take any actions for a round. It doesn't do any additional damage or anything. There's no chance of dying. But
Does he like bend double or anything?
oh yes, and there's like you pull your axe away, and there's probably a bit too much blood on the blade.
I'm going to grin at him.
There's a lot of green. Does that mean that who is this, Bernard or Albert?
Albert.
Does that mean Bernard doesn't get his bonus for another person being in combat?
Oh, he doesn't anyway because I
Yeah.
stopped that.
It's 2 on 2.
Okay,
Yeah. So you guys would now get a bonus against Bernard if you attack just him. Because Albert's just like Ben double. But you get a bonus to attack Albert. So, Torvald, these two guys in robes are coming towards you, swords in hand.
Yeah. I'll move forward and take one of them.
Okay.
Attack.
Okay.
Don't really know which one actually.
Temptation to a
Lieber or Rutger?
Yeah.
Lieber or Rutger? Lieber and Rutger. Are you on the Lieber or on the Rutger?
Lieber.
Lieber. Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Well, yeah, I hit him on a 29.
Nice.
Okay, cool. So you swing towards his leg.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Roll damage. He has no dodging skills or parrying.
He's got to be in parrying stance.
Yeah, he's not in.
6.
6 damage. Okay.
There's a huge difference in the damage you can do depending on what you roll these D10s. Huge.
Yes. Yes. In first edition, it was a D6, and wounds were scaled slightly differently, but they decided to just use D10s in the game. Make it simpler. Okay.
Different weapons have different.
Alvin.
Alvin.
I will hit him. Well, I will roll my dice to hit him.
Yeah.
And then I will tell you what.
Okay.
I did not. Oh, yeah, I did. 46, that's fine.
Oh yeah, you did. By
Yes.
one.
I hit him.
Okay.
I will strike to stun.
Okay.
Okay.
What does that do? Is that the opposed roll?
Yeah, avoid that.
He gets, if he's wearing
Yeah,
armour,
yeah,
he
he's
gets
wearing-
he gets plus 10% bonus for every AP.
Yeah,
He's got 3.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah,
3,
three,
so
yeah,
plus 30% if you do that. 'cause
yeah,
it's
it's
30.
trying to knock someone out wearing a helmet.
Just-
It's not
just-
easy.
Are you going to go for it?
Oh, yeah, because
What do I roll against?
you roll toughness.
Toughness.
And you get plus
Plus
30.
30.
40! Yes!
87.
Oh no, it works.
Yeah, you failed.
Yeah.
He's out for 9 rounds.
Okay, right. You punch him in the throat, he grabs his throat, and just drops to the floor, clutching it.
Well, if you've got your manacles, Hartwin.
Okay, so Bernard goes down.
I was feeling that Mr. Seuss might need my help. I thought I better dispatch this one quite quickly.
How did you not die? Like, how
Okay.
did this happen?
Lieber and Rutger now
It's the rugged look.
get a go at you guys at the end of the round because they were joining. They will come in at the same point as Albert and Bernard were previously in the next round. But Lieber will attack Torvald. 69. No. And Rutger will attack Gunter Seuss.
And I can't dodge because I don't have dodge blow or anything.
Don't worry, you missed.
Okay.
These two men run towards you. They look like I'm full of the zeal, but none of the skill. And they kind of wave their swords at you. Nothing really happens. Okay, back round to the beginning. Gunter Seuss.
I want to run into the room with Robe Guy.
Okay, there's a bloke with a sword standing between you and the room.
Oh, is he still blocking the corridor?
You're now in combat with him. If you try and break away, he'll get to hit you.
Unless you disengage.
Unless yeah.
How does one go about
You
it?
can
Is
make
it-
that-
That's a
6
full.
yards.
But that's a
But
full
you can't
action.
do anything else.
Yeah, that's literally.
You try and disengage.
I shall try and disengage then.
Okay, so you just try and you move away from him into the room.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's all you can do. That's all that.
so you can't do anything else.
Actually, that's not really.
You literally
that-
move
That's
6
me
yards
leaving
past
him in the lurch if I do that. And can I move towards the room? My
You
goal
did
was I
just
have to move
hear.
back
You
into
did
the
just
room.
hear Alvin say, "Oh, I think I had to let Mr.
yeah,
Seuss have
right.
some help."
I shall move on into the room then.
Okay, you move into the room over towards the bottom corpse. You move into the room.
Yeah.
Towards that person?
Yeah.
Lying on the floor. Okay, you can see as you approach that his robes are slightly nicer. They have some silver thread filigree around the edges and the trim, and around the hems. But he's face forward on the floor. His feet are poking out, and he's got a very nice pair of boots on. That's really all you can do at the moment. It will take you around to
No problem.
turn him over and search him. Because I assume that's what you're going to do.
Well, actually, I was thinking about dragging him back into the room.
The room is now on fire.
Yeah, I want to drag him back
so
into
there's
the room.
like flames licking up around.
I'm trying to preserve him so
Okay,
that we
you're
can
gonna try
take him
and
back
pull him
and
back.
use him as
Okay.
evidence.
Cool.
I'm not just going to nick all of his stuff and do a runner.
Sure. The timbers supporting the ceiling are creaking. They have poured lamp oil across the floor in different parts. Some people in there have realised that they are now probably trapped in the room with you. There's a couple of other guys in the corner holding candlesticks. Okay, so Gunther says, Heart Twin.
Who's left? Because I mean,
So
can
Albert is clutching his groin, going, ugh.
Yeah.
Bernard is clutching his throat. There are two cultists flailing around in front of Torvald, and there's a room on fire beyond him. And Gunter Sus has run into the room.
I'm still just outside the room.
Yeah,
Is
you're
that
in
room?
in the stairwell.
Yeah.
You could shoot the other cultist next to Torvald.
I'm going to aim and shoot the other cultist.
Okay. Sorry, the guy in a robe. He might not be a cultist.
You're so judgmental.
21.
Oh, hit him in the 12.
I did hit
In
him
the bonds.
I did hit him. Is that a bonds? Oh,
That
it
is
is in the
indeed.
bonds.
That is.
Okay, so can I re-roll that? Is that wonky enough? No, it's not. 7.
7 points damage.
7
Okay.
to the face.
Yeah, 7 to the face.
The bolt tears across his cheek and he screams in pain. It knocks his hood back, and you can see a fairly well-groomed hair, fairly clean skin, chap with he's got blonde hair and a little blonde beard.
Can I say just to one of them, because speaking doesn't seem to be any kind of action, just don't kill one of them.
To everyone in the room. Okay, cool. Right, then it's Albert and Bernard, Lieber and Rutger. Albert and Bernard don't do anything for a round. Lieber will attack you, and so will Rutger. Flailing with swords. Oh! 24. That's a hit.
To parry it.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
So it hits you in the
shield in the way.
It hits you in the 42.
Right.
4. 13 points of damage.
With no armour on.
No armour on. That leaves me on
What's your wounds?
12.
Okay.
Toughness bonus of 4.
-1. So that's a...
Oh no, he's got
Toughness
toughness
of 4.
4.
Oh, toughness of 4.
Toughness of 4, yeah.
Okay, so you take 8 points damage.
Yeah.
So you have 3 wounds.
3.
Okay. He goes, ha ha! Like he's surprised. Managed to do something. He's like, yeah! And the other one's like, goes to attack you. And misses wildly.
Because he's touching his face
Face.
with the other
Him
hand.
on 56 and it's not any good. Okay, Bagrik.
Alright, so
Albert's clutching his groin. But he's got a wild look in his eye.
it is, but I'm guessing I just heard Torvald cry out in pain. after
Yeah, you saw it.
Yeah,
You
I'm
saw
not
it.
messing around.
First
I'm
singing
hitting both of
Palizard.
that.
You hitting who?
Both of one after one.
Oh,
then the other.
Albert and Bernard.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right.
Just
You get plus
between them, rattle it back and
20%
forwards.
because they're both
Yeah.
effectively
So
stunned.
hit on a 51.
Okay, so 15, that's head.
7, 11.
Okay, critical.
54. And it goes up a thing because.
You just tried to injure.
Yes.
So you did how much damage? 11.
11.
Minus. It's got a helmet on. It's got 1 armor there. 4, 7, 8. Okay, cool. You chop his head off. You swing your axe to the left to take out Albert. Roll a d10.
6.
His head flies 6 yards away, hits the wall with a wet slap, and slides down and hits the floor. You turn to swing at Bernard. Bernard's kind of...
62 to hit if I get the plus 20.
You do. In the 26.
Is an arm.
Okay.
For 8, 12.
12. Minus. Roll a critical.
Okay.
92.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad. But it goes up one, doesn't it?
It does.
Right. The arm that he's holding his neck with, you chop his arm off at just above the elbow. Ah! He screams, his hand flops down. Blood goes across his body, and he's like, ah! Screaming. Anything held in his hand is dropped. Blood loss. Blood loss is such that he has a 20% chance of dying every turn.
And he's stunned for
Another
8 more rounds.
He dies.
I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs, Kazukan, Kazaki, ha! Which is a dwarven war cry.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. You, Hartwin, you see this kind of spray of blood everywhere. Albert's body just collapsed to the floor, blood going out the top of his neck. And then Bernard collapsed to the side, his arm flailing and blood spraying.
We've got to put you in danger more often.
Bagrik is now covered in various amounts of gore all over him. He's got blood dripping down his arms, his weapon, his boots.
I don't know which god they're worshipping. Might be in trouble.
Bagrik becomes cool.
Warzone falls like chaos.
Okay.
Plus, there's altogether too much blue in this room for it to be cool.
Torvald.
I am going to take a swing at the person who's just put his sword in me.
Okay, cool.
Possibly.
They're both hurt. They're both hurt.
Yeah, while swearing loudly in Khalizad.
Okay, cool.
Hit him.
Cool.
With a what?
Axe. Oh,
No, but
37,
what
so
number?
70. So
Three.
body.
Body. Okay.
1d10.
For 10.
Did you
Okay.
roll 10?
No.
Let's see. Critical. Roll a percentile.
12.
That's good.
Did you hit him in the dick as well?
You got an axe, haven't you?
Yes.
Well, your axe just wedges into his chest in like a diagonal line, and he blood comes out of his mouth. Blood seeps out through his robes and down the edge of your axe, and he has a 20% chance of dying. He dies.
Hartwig, could you please just arrest the
Staring
last
at
one
you.
before we
You
kill
kind
him
of-
by accident?
He starts falling backwards, and you kind of hold on to your axe, and he comes off the blade and he hits the floor. Okay, the room is on fire.
Yeah, I did say keep one alive, but no one was listening.
There is still one left.
Yeah, I know.
He's dead.
There's one.
He's dead.
one
He's dead. Okay, the two people clutching candlesticks are running towards the doorway, which is wreathed in flame in the fire. Yeah, just as a backdrop thing, they're running away.
Let him go.
Alvin.
They were dog
Charge
So
the
there
last
is
bloke.
one guy left in
He's
front of
Charge the
downstairs.
last bloke.
Okay,
Charging.
go for it.
I hit him with
Yep.
8.
Yep.
I shall strike stun.
Okay, so you get him in the chest because 80 is just the last.
Yeah.
So low in the.
I passed my strength test.
Oh,
I
let me
it
roll
always
it.
counts as a head.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Oh no, I failed my strength test by 1. I rolled 44 and I need 43.
Do you have a last? You've got your last fate point though, don't you? Or did
You saved it for getting hit, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh no, you
Yeah,
rolled
you
it.
used
You
it.
rolled
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
So no, I just hit him, but I failed to strike to stun.
Okay. You don't do any damage then.
No. That's the whole thing. You don't.
Yeah, you're just
engage
trying
it.
to do like
Just trying to.
a Vulcan neck pinch or
Yeah.
something.
You basically trying to.
Elven neck pinch. Sorry. Yeah.
Elven?
Just trying to stun.
Okay. Cool. Right.
See, I heard you. I heard
You
you.
did. You did.
The cultist in front of you turns to run, but it's Gunter's go. You in front of this body. The room is on fire. The ceiling is now creaking, is starting to fall apart.
I'm pulling the body into the room that we're in that's
Okay.
not falling apart.
You pull the body back. People are now trying to jump through the hoop of fire that is the doorway out of the building.
I say, don't jump that way, come this way. Just like to the people.
Okay, one of the guys still clutching a candlestick, turns and looks at you.
Yeah, just like, come on.
And runs towards you.
Yeah. Let him pass. I would just let him
The guy in the robe with the sword has run away. Do you want to hit him as he runs? The whole building is now, the whole room is in
Has he run into the flame?
He's run towards the flames to get away from you.
Hit him. I'll hit him.
Okay.
Shake his legs. Drop the sword, manling, and stand still. I miss him as he takes off.
Okay. So he runs towards the fire. Does he jump through the fire?
Let's get out.
He fails. So
Burns
he burns himself.
Has he not got to jump
To
over
death.
me?
Yeah, he made an agility roll and failed.
Oh,
so he
okay.
trips over you
Oh, good.
and lands in the fire,
Oh, that's
taking 10 points of fire damage.
And his
I rolled a 10.
I'm claiming that one as well.
Yes. So you just like stuck your foot out.
still counts as one.
And his body kind of lands in a big pile of fire and doesn't come back out of it.
Everyone, get out, get out.
You start
get
to
out.
move
Yeah.
towards.
I shall continue
the
dragging
entrance
the high
Was there
priest
an-
guy.
Was there anything in the room near the doorway that looks incriminating that we could snatch?
There's this guy for crying out loud.
I want
You got the guy. As you pull him out, you can see that he's dressed in very fine clothing. He looks like he's probably some sort of noble. And if you had time to search him, you think
We don't have
Probably
time to
got
search
something
him now, but we'll get back downstairs.
the building
and
is on
search
fire.
him
It's starting to
now.
fill with smoke. You're starting to choke.
Into the basement.
Everyone
into
make
the basement.
toughness rolls.
Which one of the two, Albert or
Bernard.
Bernard?
Ooh,
Which is more my
pass.
side?
Bloody hell, so did I.
I think Bernard's
So
more
did
his
I.
size.
I'll drag Bernard.
We'd expect
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
to.
yeah, all those guys. I want to try and just chuck them down the stairs. Anybody?
Okay, so you start.
And I just hoist one of the bodies over my
If
shoulder.
anyone
and grab his
failed their
book.
toughness roll, take 2 points of
Somehow I didn't fail my
Inhalation.
toughness roll.
inhalation damage as your lungs fill with smoke and you are coughing and spluttering as you make your way out of the room.
I just want to.
The ceiling starts to turn into cinders and cracked wood. It starts to collapse. And as you guys make your way out with the bodies of those who have fallen and a guy with a candlestick and this bloke whose bottom you hurt, you drag them all out. You drag them all out.
From behind.
And a kind of gout of flame and ash kind of out of the room ahead of you, collapsing in and blocking off any kind of exit that way. And we will end the episode there.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well done. Nobody died.
Hey, I didn't die!
You
No,
were
I didn't know
close.
you
I was
didn't die.
playing.
You were close.
I was playing.
That was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned to the channel because we'll have more Traveller coming soon and some more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. But until then, we'll see you next time on Flint and Steel. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.